You ever have one of those huge, massive dreams, but then you look around and the people closest to you are kind of, well, pulling you back down to earth? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're diving into this really powerful idea that your social circle, the people you're around all the time, are the real architects of your ambition. And we're going to do it by following one person's story to see just how true this really is.
All right, let's just get right to it with a question that, look, it might sting a little, but it's so important. Are your friends holding you back? Just let that sink in for a second and keep it in the back of your mind as we go, because honestly, it's at the absolute core of what we're about to unpack. Okay, so to really get into this, we're going to follow a story. We'll call this first part the dream on hold. And I bet this is a situation that a lot of you know all too well. You've got this huge goal, this big ambition, but you're just surrounded by small thinking. So let's meet Maggie. Her story, it's probably going to sound pretty familiar. She's got this dream just kind of simmering away inside her. She wants to start her own business. But, reality hits. Her day-to-day is a pretty mundane job, one of those jobs that just pays the bills. And that big, exciting dream, it just keeps getting pushed further and further to the back burner. So what's keeping her stuck? Well, a huge part of it was the so-called advice she was getting from her friends. You know the type, they'd say stuff like, why would you take that risk? Just stick with a stable job and a steady paycheck. You can almost hear that cautious tone, right? It's all about safety, stability, and it sounds helpful, but what it's really doing is telling her to shrink her dreams. It's almost like a social gravity, just pulling her ambitions right back down to what her friends thought was normal.
And this really lays the conflict out clear as day. On one side, you've got Maggie's dream. It's all passion, risk-taking, big, hairy, audacious goals. And on the other side, the advice she's hearing. All about stable jobs, steady paychecks, playing it safe. It's a total clash of two different mindsets, and poor Maggie is stuck right smack in the middle. But this is where the story gets really interesting. This is the turning point. Because being stuck, it doesn't have to be a permanent thing. For Maggie, it took just one single event to trigger a massive mindset shift. So what was it? What was the catalyst for this huge change? It was something surprisingly simple. Maggie decided to step outside her usual comfort zone, her usual circle of friends, and she went to a local networking event. That's it. Just a small, simple action that, believe me, was about to have some massive consequences. And at this event, it was like she stepped into a completely different universe. I mean, she's meeting entrepreneurs who are talking about these wild, crazy ideas, not like they're some distant fantasy, but like they're actual concrete plans. These people were all about taking big risks to get what they wanted. And this is so important. They shared stories of success and failure. All of a sudden, failure wasn't this terrifying thing to be avoided at all costs. It was just, part of the game. And that was Maggie's big perspective shift. You know that powerful aha moment? It's when you suddenly realize that what you thought was normal was really just groupthink. It was totally limited by the people you were always around. For Maggie, in that moment, her world just blew wide open. It got so much bigger. Okay, but having a big realization is one thing, right? To actually make it stick, you gotta take action. And Maggie got that. She knew she had to deliberately, consciously start building a better circle for herself. And this wasn't just some fuzzy goal. She had a clear, step-by-step strategy. Step one, and this is the hard one, she started to distance herself from those negative, dream-crushing influences. Step two, she went out and actively looked for inspirational, like-minded people. Step three, she really went all in and joined a startup accelerator. And finally, step four, she found a mentor who could encourage her and show her the ropes. And this right here is the absolute crucial point of the whole story. This wasn't just her giving herself a little internal pep talk. For that new mindset to actually stick, she had to change her external world. It's such a powerful lesson. You don't just change your mind, you have to change your community. So what happens when you do both? When you intentionally change your mind and your community? Well, that brings us to the best part of Maggie's story. Let's call it the ambition payoff. And the result? It was everything she had dreamed of. I mean, surrounded by all this support and belief, Maggie finally did it. She took the leap. She launched her own business. That dream that she had put on the back burner for years and years, it was finally her reality. And just look at the internal transformation this sparked. It's like night and day. In her old environment, she was alone, she was discouraged, totally limited by fear.
But with her new circle, man, she felt supported, understood. All of a sudden, these extreme goals, they just felt normal. She was literally fueled by the people around her.
So today, yeah, Maggie's business is thriving. But honestly, the biggest win wasn't the money. It was the incredible lesson she learned about just how powerful our environment is in shaping what we truly believe is possible for ourselves.
So the moral of her story, the mantra that she completely lives by now, is simple, it's powerful, and it's this: go big or go home. That became her new normal. And so that brings everything right back around to you. After hearing Maggie's story, I want you to take a really honest look at the people you spend the most time with, the conversations you have, the advice you're always getting, and ask yourself, who are the architects of your ambition? Seriously, are they helping you build a skyscraper or a little garden shed? It's a question that's absolutely worth asking.